Hello, my Texas gal fam. I don't even know what to call y'all. I always go back and forth between the different things, but hello, my Texas gal fam. So glad that you're here. And I wanted to come on and just do a quick chit chat with you. Normally I do these live, but I thought let me go ahead and jump on just to a recording so I could try to stay on focus. We'll see how that goes. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Margaret. I am a reselling mom that homeschools her kids. I was in Texas for pretty much my whole life, yeah, hence the channel name, Texas Gal Treasures. And I have moved recently to Colorado and am living here, homeschooling here with my kids. I get the question frequently, why did you move? Well, I moved so I could have more experiences with my children, and because I'm able to homeschool and work remotely, this gives me the freedom to live in anywhere I want, right? So we did some research, and Colorado was the best option for us because we do a lot of road schooling and traveling, and we were able to have this as a really good jumping off point to be able to travel and take road trips and lots of new experiences because we never really lived in the snow or cold places or mountains or anything like that. So that's why we're here. I wanted to just give some other updates. My eBay and Etsy stores are back on vacation mode because I've gotten some questions about that. My reselling business is on vacation mode again, and the reason for that is we're moving again. Initially, we were going to wait until our lease was up in June to move into a home and maybe start looking in the spring. But the more, okay, if you've been following me a little bit, you know I've been on a bit of a spiritual journey. And something in the universe, or if you believe in God, angels, whatever you believe in, something was kind of tugging at me saying, no, now's the time, now's the time, now's the time. And it was just sort of like push, push, push. And so I started looking now. And very quick, probably the third or fourth house we looked at, um, I was like, this is the one. And so we were able to get a phenomenal deal on this house because kind of like my house in Texas, which we'll get to in a second, uh, the person's like, I need to just be out from under this house. And so we're able to get a really great deal on this house that if we were waiting, it wouldn't be there because every other house in our price range that we were looking at was just not amazing and was going to need a ton of work. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and jump on this house, break our lease, and go ahead and make this move now, which I'm so happy about because also, when you know there's a big move coming, it's like you can't settle. You can't just like sink into things. And so knowing that I had this like, oh, we're gonna have to do this all over again in the summer and start looking for a house in the spring and so it was really the timing was fantastic. And it was almost like heaven sent, just like everything we could possibly want in a house and at your price range with no major work that needs to be done. Major work that I need to do. I'll just say there's some things that have to get done. But so all of that has been on pause. But while I'm having to put those things on pause, I am ramping back up my print on demand stuff because that's just another area, especially now during Q4, that I can also bring in income because I make sure that I have diversified. And there's been times lately that I've kind of let some of that slip. But this YouTube thing that happened recently with the YouTube glitch in the AdSense was a big wake up call for me because it dropped my AdSense revenue pretty much like 90%, between 70 and 90%, which was huge, huge, which was a wake up call for me to say, hey, you're putting too many of your eggs in this basket and you need to diversify a little bit more, girl. So I have started ramping back up my print on demand stuff, both through Amazon and through Etsy and Printify, Etsy and Printful. And that's what I've been working on a lot. As I mentioned in a few other videos, I've been working on a book. I've been revamping my website. It's given me a lot of time to really take a look at where I wanted to focus my attention and really what my intentions are as far as how I want to be a businesswoman. What kind of person am I? What am I wanting? What is this all about? Basically, and from the beginning, wanting to help people that were in similar situations as I am, whether they were in abusive relationships or they just need to become more financially independent, all of these different things. So it's given me a lot of time and a lot of soul searching to be able to figure out where I want to go and where I want everything to go in the future. So it's really been fantastic. I mean, stressful stuff, but overall fantastic. Now, let's see, what else was I going to tell you? My home in Texas, because I brought that up. It has been a bit of, well, it has been a bit of a pickle, to say it nicely. Initially, I was planning on renting my house in Texas because I wasn't sure if we were going to stay in Colorado or we're going to go back to Texas. I wasn't sure, but after being here a couple of months, we all decided, me and the kids, decided that this is where we want to stay. And so the house hadn't rented yet after a couple months, so I decided to put it on the market. I went with a realtor that a friend recommended, and it was a really bad situation. I offered, to keep my yard crew. I said, hey, make sure that the sprinklers are still going. Let me know this, that, and the other thing. And they did not. Didn't set the sprinklers up. Told me, no, 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 don't worry about your yard crew. My husband's going to do that for you. I'm like, that's fantastic. Thanks so much. Uh, and then about 2 months after that, so we're looking at least 4 months here, my HOA reached out to me and we're like, half your yard is dead. The other half is growing into the street. What are we doing? What's going on? So the sprinklers hadn't been turned on. They had not been mowing. Not only that, at this point, I reached out to a neighbor across the street and said, hey, can you go grab the key from my now ex-realtor? And she's like, oh, by the way, all the blinds in your house are open and every single light in the house is on all the time. And I had asked this particular realtor, like, well, Mom, why is my electric bill so high? It's crazy high. And it was during the summer. So, and I knew it had been over 100 for, I don't know, 3 months or something in Texas. So that was the excuse that she gave, like, oh, well, it's just been really hot. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And then I ended up hiring a new realtor. Fantastic. And he went over there and he said, Margaret, it's a meat locker in here. The AC is set to 64. It is freezing in this house. So he fixed that. I mean, anyway, positive attitude. It's not toxic positivity. There's nothing I can do about it, so I don't want to dwell on the negative in all of this. And I did, I've had some people, I think I mentioned this in another video, saying, you need a reporter or this or that. I could go down that road and I might still just leave a review, but I don't want to devote my energy and attention to this because it's not going to solve anything. It can't go back in time. I can let other people know, like, hey, maybe don't use this person, but I don't want to devote more of my time and energy to that. So the company I've gone with now is way more professional. I'm getting way more updates. My house still hasn't sold, but it will. And that's fine. Things are good other than that. Kids are great. We're homeschooling. Gonna buy this house. We're gonna make another move. And then I'm very excited about getting resettled and really getting to put our roots down in a new community, get my reselling business up and running, get some more jewelry stuff. This is another reason, like, I'm like, it'd be really easy to do some jewelry videos, but if you knew what it looked like after I did a jewelry video, it's like somebody turned on a KitchenAid mixer and it just let it spin on high speed and just like the batter goes everywhere. It's kind of how it ends up looking after I do a jewelry video, because if you know me, when I do jewelry unboxings, I get a little interactive and and it's fun. So I have some really cool ideas for new videos. I am working on a book, I mentioned that, and I'm working on a course, which is a big deal because this course is, it's my goal ultimately is to help people. And one of the things that I get told frequently, which kind of makes me sad from people, is, they'll pay this incredible amount of money to be in a group or to be in this course, and then they don't get very much out of it. So my goal was like, you know what? I've made, videos to help this, that, and the other thing, but I think like breaking it down into the teensiest little bits, or people will say, you're going too fast. And I can just slow it down and people can take it in the teeniest little chunks. And then also at that point, if I do it in this way, if there's something I missed or something that needs clarification, it's really hard on a video that I've already done to go back. There's no way like I can go and like clarify in the video already. But if I do it this way, then I can add like a little follow-up embedded in it to say, oh, this is something that maybe somebody might need clarification on. So I'm very excited about that because I've been working with a company that's helping me build this and to be able to present it and share it in a way that's not going to be, I mean, some people have said they paid thousands of dollars for some of these courses and groups. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. Because ultimately, like truly trying to help, yeah, I've got to pay my bills, but it doesn't, like, on what planet is it going to cost that much money? And yes, I understand that some people are super against it because the information is out there, and it is. Uh, but at the same time, some people need a little extra help. And I get that because obviously I'm paying someone to help me. And it's like, okay, we'll just do this. And they're helping me, the company that I'm working with, they're helping me to, what do we call it? Schedule my time better. I'm very ADHD. And y'all, I have 4 notebooks sitting in front of me because I'm like, this is the notebook for this, and this is the planner for this, and this is the notebook for this, and then this is the notebook for this. Uh, ADHD much? So they're helping me with my time management and my goal setting and uh, pretty much everything. So I'm very excited to start this process with them as well. So if you are still here at this point, thank you. And stay tuned because I have some really fun ideas for some videos, but it's going to require me to learn some more stuff about video making because I'm pretty rudimentary. I'm proficient. We'll just put it that way. I'm proficient. My mom was like, "Why would you?" I was looking at hiring somebody and initially to help me. That's kind of how I jumped off onto this person that's helping me with platform and all this other stuff because initially I was looking for somebody that could help me edit videos. And when I started pricing that out, now it's worth it if they're really good, but it was like, oh, it's going to take me time to find somebody. And my mom's like, but you're not that bad at editing. I'm like, okay, mom, a 20-minute video takes me like 4 hours to edit if I do it with like all kinds of fun things and little elements, you know, it can take a long time. So it's not to say it's not worth it, but I'm trying to, especially with like having my shops closed down and this whole YouTube thing, like where can I be most strategic? And so I think that's really important when you're running a business, whether you're just doing eBay or you're doing YouTube or you're trying to have all of these things, print on demand, affiliate stuff, trying to get into Amazon stuff, like all of the pieces. At a certain point, you've got to say, like, how am I going to organize my time? And I know there are people that are fantastic at this. I wish I could say I was one of them. I'm not good with deadlines, and I'm not good with having multiple things, multiple deadlines. And it's just like really, it can get quite stressful. So I'm very grateful to have someone help me kind of break it down and say, okay, these are the chunks for here, and these are the chunks for next, and these are the chunks at off. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. Like, it's like, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. But who's eating elephants these days? Really, it's frowned upon. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for hanging out. Miss you. Love you so much. And I won't be gone so long. Bye.